Hello, thanks for watching Balls Deep. Thoughts about Randy Moss. A lot of people want to know, what do I think about Randy Moss? I'm the professional expert. What do I think about Randy Moss? Well, I'd like to welcome Randy Moss to San Francisco, first of all. First and foremost. He can't be any worse than any receiver on the Niners. Vernon Davis is a tight end, so we're not going to count him. Every year, from basically 98 up until 2010, Moss would get, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 yards and 10, 15, 20 touchdowns. Every year. And then 2010 happens, and Moss gets like 28 catches and 400 yards and 5 touchdowns spread out amongst the Titans, the Vikings, and the Patriots. Those numbers stink, though. If he were on the Niners, those would probably be the best receiver. This guy is a speed receiver. If he can separate, if he still has speed, even at age 35 or 36, and maybe he does, and I trust Harbaugh, and there's no reason not to trust Harbaugh, but if Moss can still run, he's going to be fine. Can Alex Smith get him the ball? Let's be honest, probably not. Alex Smith is pretty bad. It's nice to romanticize his story that he was stinky for 5 years, but he's still not very good. But it's worth a chance. You have nothing to lose. This reminds me of today. Today I went to Chipotle. I get a burrito, and I say I want some guacamole, and the guacamole is like $1.50. The guy puts the guacamole, and they always say, it's extra. And I'm like, of course. And as I'm going to pay, this 60-year-old lady, the 6-year-old white lady, cuts in front of me in line. She's like, hey, I don't usually like guacamole, but that guacamole looks good. Can I try some? And she gets the guy to put a scoop on her plate for free. It's the oldest trick in the book. And then he looks at me and he realizes he can no longer charge me for the guacamole he had just told me was $1.50 that he put on my burrito. And that reminded me of the one time that I've ever hung out with Randy Moss. It was mid-September 2004. I flew up to Minnesota. A buddy of mine went to University of Minnesota in Minneapolis. We're going to some bars on a Saturday night before the Cowboys-Vikings game. We run into Randy Moss by himself at a bar. We start hanging out with Randy Moss. He's like, you guys want to hang out tonight? We're like, sure. And we go to a couple bars with Randy Moss, and he'll go up to the bartender, and he would literally say, and this is a multimillionaire, this is just a country guy, and he'd be like, yeah, I want to try that vodka. I've never tried it. I want to try that gin. I've never tried it. By the end of the night, his head hurt. He said, he's like, I'll still catch a couple of touchdowns tomorrow, and he did. But it's hilarious because we were out till 2 a.m. with this guy. He's trying all these vodkas by simply telling the bartender he had never had them before, which I found hilarious. So by the end of the night, he's hammered. I go back. I'd gone there with my girlfriend at the time, and she asked what I was doing. And I said, we went out with Randy Moss. Do you really want to know what I do when I go out at night? And she realized when you tell a woman you've been out with Randy Moss, that's all she needs to know. Balls deep. Randy Moss, welcome to San Francisco, baby.